So we are starting DevOps now, and I hope every one of you aware that if we talked about DevOps, does it means a process? Does it means a tool? Does it means a programming language? Does it means a cloud? Or does it means anything else? Any clue?
It's, looks like it is everything, isn't
Okay, so let's see that what the expert says. Okay, just give me a sec. So I'm sharing my screen one more time. Okay. I think Ram Manohar is joining. Let me share my. Hey Ram,
Morning.
good
it?
morning.
You ran twice, isn't it? Ram, you ran twice, looks like.
I
Okay,
was
so
in
I'm playing a very small video just to make you understand that from the company perspective, from the industry perspective, from the what I think Aisu also joining. What is DevOps?
What is DevOps? DevOps is one of those terms where everybody has a slightly different definition. For example, Amazon says DevOps is the combination of cultural philosophies, practices, and tools that increases an organization's ability to deliver applications and services at high.
So as per Amazon, I think that it's a world definitely one of the largest company, right? They are using DevOps for their uh, own you can say processes as a part of the processes. They are also in the transformation journey. So what they say is that they treat the DevOps as a cultural philosophies. Can anyone have an example of what is the meaning of cultural philosophies when I'm saying a DevOps? Okay, let me give an example. Let's say we all people are working in the same company. Okay, so for an example, for me, let's say Ram is a developer, Mr. Benu is a tester, Mr. Sridhar might be you can say a kind of a build engineer. See, all three have a different responsibility. Okay, so what generally process we follow? We sit in a lunchtime and then Ram may say that, hey Vinu, I have developed a code, but I am not sure whether the code is correct or not. Can you test this code without anyone information? Then the Ram, maybe Vinu will say that, okay Ram, no problem. You are my friend, you are my best friend. Give me the code in a pen drive. Let me run and test it, and I will let you know secretly. Possible?
Yep.
Possible? When the deployment is coming, just Siddhar say that, boss, I have developed a headache in my head. I'm going home. Today we have to build this project. No, sir, I am not well. I am going home. Possible? Yes or no? Possible, no? Right? So for Amazon, they say that when they are introducing DevOps in their organization, they are actually changing the culture. Culture means they are putting everything in a very strict, you can say, a kind of a roles and responsibility matrix, where the roles is very clearly defined. Who is playing that role? They have to carry that responsibility only. Correct? So first you have to correct your company culture. Then only you will say that whether you are going to produce the result in a right time or not. Nowadays, every company is now making a process streamline, whatever you can say a friendly culture to a streamlined culture, and that is a way of transformation. This is how many DevOps consultant involved in the company, they are trying to sensitize the people who is working in the company that now the days has gone when you work freely, when you work without any kind of accountability and responsibility. Now we are making everything is a very clear cut responsibility chart. Next is a practices, and then the tool. So for Amazon, the tools always come at a third place. Correct now? First cultural philosophy, then practices, and then the tool. And this is how the digital transformation, a company transformation, and the journey start with most of the organization. This is what Amazon says. Let's say what the other organization says.
High velocity. I like how this definition really emphasizes that DevOps involves combining a bunch of things that are necessary to deliver value quickly. Wikipedia says DevOps is a software engineering culture and practice that aims at unifying software development.
Now, Wikipedia, I hope every one of you are aware of Wikipedia, right? It's a kind of a knowledge base where all of us generally some point of time go there, right? So they also use the DevOps in their organization. They also introduce the DevOps in their organization. For there, again, it's a kind of a culture and it's a practice. So the misconception what we have in a market, and the most of the people who is not aware about the DevOps, they think that learning Jenkins, learning Ansible, learning Azure DevOps, we are a DevOps. No, you are not DevOps. You are still a kind of a small, very small player in that DevOps part. Until and unless you do not understand the DevOps in totality, you are just like playing a role of someone who is following the instruction. So for a DevOps at a very higher level for an organization, it's a very important cultural change. And you know that when the organization exists for a decades, it's a very hard to change the people attitude. Correct, no? Because they are typed to, they are habituated to work the way they are liking. So when you try to transform them, it's really a challenge. Correct? So when Wikipedia also introduced the DevOps in their company, they also face a resistance from the people who is working. They are reluctant initially to go with that kind of a transformation. They are denying to bound with the rules and regulations, and they say that, but after 1.5 year, 2 years, now the Wikipedia is one of the perfect DevOps organization. But what is the definition about, if you asking me?
And software operation. This definition really focuses on breaking down the barriers between development and operations. Here is my high-level definition. DevOps is what happens when everyone in a software delivery pipeline takes shared responsibility.
So if you ask me, for me, the DevOps means it's a kind of a shared responsibility. where I understand that what is my role in this whole process. You understand what is the role of your process. And then we have our own skill, right? Everyone should not have a same skills always, right? I may have a good skills to develop an application. You have a very good skills to test that application. Someone might be very good to deploy the application in a multiple platform. So everyone have their own capability. According to the capability, we are actually sharing the responsibility and using the skills.
And uses their skills not only to do their own piece of the work, but also to optimize holistically for rapid and safe delivery of the final result. An organization with a DevOps mindset is going to use their programming skills to automate the deployment process where it can be made more efficient. They're going to use their skills in operations to make sure that the developers and users have easy access to testing environments and servers, so automated and manual tests can provide feedback quickly. A DevOps approach to change management is going to put people from change management side by side with developers and operations to find ways to leverage automation to help guarantee quality. There are all kinds of tools and technologies to enable the automation and collaboration used by DevOps organizations, but none of these things are really important. What is important is the way DevOps teams not only produce software, but also use their skill to collaborate with everyone else to create and improve a comprehensive integrated system to deliver that software.
I hope it's clear to all of you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. So this is how the DevOps is being introduced in the whole process. So let me come back to our presentation one more time. And this is how we say that how the DevOps is going to be in the market. So it's a more over a set of practices, right? And what is the intention of this practice? To intend to reduce the time between committed a change to a system and change being placed into the normal production while ensuring high quality. Now, every one of us are using this DevOps in our day-to-day life, but we are not aware. Let's say for an example, whenever you have your Windows laptop, you found that after every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, your Windows laptop is getting some kind of an update. Is it true now?
Yeah.
Every Windows user is getting update from Microsoft. Every week. It's true or false?
Yeah, it's true.
True. But can you go back yourself, make yourself go back 4 years back or 5 years back? What was the case? 3 months. Every 3 months, Microsoft used to release the update. In between, if something wrong happened, if something bug detected, user is helpless. User said that, oh, even they reported to the Microsoft said that will take time, my dear. If the user asks why you are taking time, see, my developer developed that bug fix. Now this bug fix need to be tested. On various platforms. Right? For example, I am using Dell laptop. You are using HP laptop. I am using Pentium. You are using Itanium. So there are variety of laptops. There are a variety of desktops. So Microsoft had to test around 800 plus devices. Each bug fix which they develop, they have to be tested on 800 plus devices. And then if any devices malfunction after installing that bug fix, then again they have to go into change management. They again have to work on the bug fix. Do you think it's an easy task? It's a very tedious task. Then the customer giving a feedback to the Microsoft, dear Mr. Microsoft, many times it happens that some bug has been creating a problem in my production environment and you are taking 3 months of sweet time. Then the Microsoft said that, okay, currently there is 100 people is working in this bug fixing. I am increasing the count to 200. Basically what they are increasing the head count, right? So maybe 2 months is now reduced up to 3 months to 2 months. Then again customer is crying, yeah, what are you doing? There is a issue is coming and you are saying that you will take 2 months time. I'm not going to buy your product now. Then Microsoft said, hold on. Let me increase the head count from 200 to 500. Oh my goodness. You know that the cost is increasing now. Satisfy the customer. Microsoft is increasing cost because they are including more employee now. So what magic happened? Suddenly, Microsoft reduced the employee count to 100 only, and the delivery time has been drastically decreased from 3 months to now 2 weeks. What magic Microsoft does? They reduce the head count, but they significantly increase the updates. Now the event update is coming weekly. They are using the whole DevOps process in their organization now. Correct? Suddenly your laptop is getting update. You have no clue from where it is coming. And then your laptop says that, yes, your Windows has been updated. Please restart. If anyone is having an experience of an antivirus, same issues. 5 years back, if any virus come, then the virus OEM will take a sweet time of 5 to 15 days. Because they have to test this antivirus or on a multiple platform, not on a single platform. Correct? But now this time has been suddenly reduced. WannaCry attack and McAfee come up within 24 hours that antivirus patch. Within 24 hours. What magic they did? They have the same employee count, right? But they use the DevOps in the process. Correct now? Yeah, Sridhar, Ram, Binu.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, good. So now let's go back to Microsoft and see that how the Microsoft is using this DevOps in their own organization. I'm sharing the screen.
My team is the .NET Engineering Services team.
We are in charge of all of the shared infrastructure for .NET Core.
Each individual component of .NET was open sourced one by one.
Having code on GitHub enables us.
So what is the first thing? Number one, being a Microsoft, they are using .NET as a language because this is Microsoft proprietary language. Now Microsoft also acquired GitHub. So they are using GitHub as their own collaborative platform. It is contrast from our old understanding that GitHub is only a tool where I can go and deposit our code. No, it's not. It's more than that. It's a collaborative platform. It's a platform where the developer across the globe can collaborate, can share their work, can discuss their issues, And I, as a project manager, I manage my project. All we can do with the GitHub.
Us to work together with more devs. And to me, that always feels better.
.NET is very, very complex.
It was literally over 80 repos with multiple distros, multiple versions. How does this even work?
You had a lot of differentiation between the way each repository was built up. That's felt both by internal Microsoft developers as well as by external contributors. How do we innovate more rapidly if the processes are so different across all these repositories?
It needed an overhaul. We needed to essentially start from the ground up. It was going to be painful, but we had to. We have been improving that situation through a number of ways. One is reduce the number of repos. It seems kind of obvious.
We wanted to standardize our tooling across our repositories. As part of our shared tooling, we moved the repositories into a common layout, and that then enables you to work faster. Continuous integration is very, very important for a project of our scale. You're looking at hundreds of pull requests per day across all of the repositories.
Scale was getting us with the number of tests that we're doing, like literally in the billions.
And so we had a bunch of different CI systems. They are all imperfect and all had some serious drawbacks. When your CI systems differ across your repositories, making wide-scale changes across the stack for the engineering services team becomes a lot more difficult. We wanted to converge on a single CI system for both our builds and testing.
What really helped us was our move to Azure Pipelines. Not only did it handle our scale well, but also it was just much more reliable. As a dev, you don't want to just be fighting fires day in and day out. You want to be working on new features, making improvements.
So that we can accelerate our development, improve our quality, and ship the products faster. There's a great satisfaction in just watching things just slowly get smoother.
In the context of open source, it makes not only good business sense, but it makes good human sense.
All cool, right? So basically DevOps is something which bring a gap between developer and an operator. So both developer, while developer have their own task like plan, code, build and test, while operator have their own task like feedback, monitor, operate, deploy and release. They all work in conjunctions, they all work in integrations. So when we talked about DevOps, definitely one major part of the DevOps apart from the process is called the tools. So there are various tools which you can use, which as a company can use at the different stages. For example, if you are working on a code, then you might be like to check in, check out your code using Git, maybe a Jira. If you are working on a deployment, then might be you are using Puppet, Chip and Ansible. If you are working on a monitoring, then you have something like a Nagios. If you are working on a release, then maybe you are using a Jenkins. If you are working on a test, then maybe you are using a JUnit and Selenium. So you have a various tool. There are more than 350 tools available in the market right now, and its number is keep growing because everyone understand that the company is going crazy about implementing the DevOps in their own organization, right? And apart from that, every cloud provider also come up with their own tools. So some of the tool which you
Bipin,
can, yeah.
what's the mostly used tool in the market? If you go to the
yeah, so
previous,
for example, Git is the most commonly used tool. Yeah, definitely Jira is there, but still people are using Git. Then a Docker, which is again a containerization technology. So, but for a decade, the Linux containerization technology was exist for a very long, but Docker is now suddenly take over the market as a overall, right? Then from the testing point of view, if you are testing a web app, Selenium is a tool, and Jenkins definitely it's take over everything now. Both Puppet, Chip, everything is gone behind now, and it's taking. So like that, there are 6 tools. If you go in as a trend, if you go to Google and search the trained in a DevOps, then you can maybe think that tool, for example, if you know Git, if you know Jenkins, if you know Ansible, if you know Docker, and definitely one of the Docker management like a Kubernetes. So this tool anyhow is going to be used by most of the organizations. Okay.
Thank you, Bipin.
So now this is one of the processes where you can integrate the multiple tools together. Some tools which is using the testing capabilities, some is repository capabilities, some is deployment capabilities, some is testing capability, and all can be worked together. So their API is designed in such a way that they can collaborate and integrate with each other with very ease without any coding, right? So all the DevOps tool, whatever is available in the market, their API is open, and the other vendor, when they are developing a tool for the DevOps, they can leverage that open API and integrate their product as well, right? So DevOps means it's a kind of a continuous integration and a delivery. Now there are a very confusing terminology, or you can say it's a kind of a interchange terminology which is used. One is called Agile, one is called CI/CD, one is called DevOps, one is called Agile, one is called CI/CD, one is called DevOps. At a very generic level, all are almost equal, but when you go on a granular level, all are having their own processes. So one process may be leverage the another process. So let's understand what's the difference between Agile, CI/CD versus DevOps. Just give me a sec.
Continuous integration, continuous delivery, commonly referred to as CI/CD, and DevOps are often used interchangeably. Although they're related, they describe completely different aspects of the software development pipeline. Agility refers to the process or methodology for managing workflows in software development. This methodology focuses on processes and people. Agile teams are constantly listening and responding to customer changes and requests. CI/CD is the natural progression of agility. It can be thought.
So if we say agile means more over a process. But how you will go and implement that process, then the implementation is called CI/CD. So agile is more a theoretical concept where organization follow that this is what the flow of my organization. But to implement that, you need a tool which is called CI/CD.
Thought of as a type of life cycle. CI/CD relies on automation to remove the human elements that ultimately create bottlenecks in releasing and improving software. In CI/CD, testing is done early and often. As much as possible, testing is automated to minimize the cost and time it takes to remediate defects.
So while agile is laid down the process, the automation is taken care by the CI/CD.
DevOps is a culture that removes organizational constructs with the aim of bringing disparate roles together to enable agile development. DevOps emphasizes collaboration and communication between developers, dev, operations, ops, and other IT professionals, such as security, sec. This type of collaboration is also known as DevSecOps. DevOps toolchains require all teams to be responsive and to perform risk evaluation. These toolchains work in harmony with the automation of the CI/CD lifecycle to support agile development. So in short, DevOps, CI/CD, and agility are related but completely different aspects.
Okay, so all three are at different aspects. In fact, if you see one which tells something, one which tells something, right? But in a very higher level, all work together. Right. So now, since you are trying to become a DevOps consultant, my recommendation is that at least you should try to acquire one of the certification to increase your credibility in the market, to increase the credibility of your portfolio. So there are various certification which you can try off. Some of the example is that you can become an AWS certified DevOps engineer. So it has their own path to follow. And once you complete this certification, you can call yourself as a cloud DevOps consultant. Another certificate which you can try off is Azure DevOps, which you are currently learning now. So in Azure DevOps, again, you will have and go and understand the whole DevOps concept along with the Azure cloud. Then there is a specialized certificate also you can try off. For example, if you are very good in containerization, try to become a Docker certified associates, or you can even have a Jenkins certified associates, right? So every tool also now offer their own certification. You can be a part of this certification. You can also be a part of any of the DevOps organization. So it means that when you become a DevOps consultant, there are various organizations you can be a part of, either as a paid member, either as a volunteer member, or as a guest member. But I recommend become a part of, let's say, a Docker Association organization. It's offer a free membership for a volunteer basis, where it will give you a lot of updates about what is happening in the containerization world. Right?
Vipin,
Yeah.
any prerequisite for Azure DevOps engineer certification?
Generally, it says that when you are good in development world, or where either you are very good in operation world. So development world means if you know how to use a code to deploy a solution on Azure, or if you are in operation world, then you should aware about that, how the infrastructure can be provisioned in Azure so that the app can be provisioned. One, how to develop the app. One, how to provision the app.
Okay. So for example, now we don't have that experience. Okay. So straight away, do we learn the theoretical concepts and give the exam?
Yes. So you are actually going in both side now. So it means that after Azure DevOps, it's all your choice. Are you going to play a role of consultant? If you become a consultant, it means that you are not going into that specific field. Then you are only seeing the 360-degree of the DevOps, right? If you want to know, I only want to become a developer, then you have to again carry on this knowledge and expertise to more refined way to a development world only.
Okay. Is
Correct, huh?
AZ203 is the prerequisite? Microsoft developer, Azure developer?
No, there is no prerequisite as such. It's only that how you want to. Currently, your aim is to become a consultant. Okay, your aim is to become an architect and DevOps architect. So it means that you must have a 360-degree coverage of the whole DevOps process, whole DevOps flow, along with Azure services. Okay, but now you want to narrow down your career. Or narrow down in the sense, no, I am a developer. I want to continue my development experience only. I do not want to become a 360-degree consultant. Okay, then you have to again go for a more specialization, further specialization field.
Okay, that is Azure DevOps.
That is Azure. No, Azure DevOps will give you a 360-degree, right? It covers both operation, it covers both project management, it also covers your operation. It covers all three.
Okay. So here one more quick question, Bipin. See, now in Azure, Agile and DevOps world, developer, even tester is called developer, as I understand.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we are from testing background. So
Right. Right.
in that case, developer in the sense, do we need to have full-fledged knowledge in any kind of coding languages?
Yes. Developer means you have to be a coding language.
So we need to learn coding and we need to involve in both coding and testing, you mean to say?
Yes, exactly. So when we
All
say
right.
developer, the word developer itself, you can say, make a meaning that you must are master of coding.
All right. Okay. Thanks, Vipin.
Fair enough. So these are the few certification which I have processed you, but it's all your dear. So today's our agenda is that we should understand what is the first tool of DevOps, which is called Git and GitHub. So let's move to directly on the lab where we are going to sign up for a GitHub. So how many of you have already have a GitHub account?
I need to create new one.
Okay. Stop my sharing now. Let's maybe one of you can share your screen. Maybe Viru, you can share your screen. So one will do and rest all please follow.
Yeah, I'm sharing, Vipin.
Sure. Good. So everyone please go to github.com. If you already have account, it's good. If not, please go to github.com and in a username, try to find out if your name is still exists. You cannot put dot.
Can I put underscore?
You cannot put anything, a special character. No special character. Oh. Just type Viru Guru. Very good. So everyone
Yeah,
make
okay.
yourself name a Guru. Please, you have to create account. Everyone have to create an account because this is a collaborative platform. So we all have to work together. You cannot work in a silo here. I have a password suggestion for all of you. Wherever it is asking a complex password, no? Second, okay. Use QWERTY.
Okay.
QW and then 234. You have a special character at the rate hash and dollar. Then RTY at the rate 123. So I think that fourth one is a spiral galaxy. Good. Scroll down. Yeah. Join a free plan. It also have a 2 version, enterprise, which is a paid one, and then the free version. Just select any of them and move ahead. Scroll down. Just select any of them.
This one?
Yeah, just select anything. Yeah, just say complete setup. Now it should send an email to you. Check your email. And confirm. I hope every one of you are doing the same, because we are going to call all of you as a team in a single unit. Once you're done, just refresh. Remove, again login now. You already logged in. So you already logged in. Now click that click that cat one. You have a cat icon on a very first. In a black screen on a taskbar, you have a cat icon. Congratulations. Just hold on here. Let me get a confirmation from everyone that if they're done, if they reach to this stage now.
Yes, I'm done. I have already account.
Yeah. Others, Grijesh, Rama.
Yeah, just a
Rama.
minute. I'm just finishing it off. Just a minute.
Sure. Sirdhar.
Yeah, I have done, Vipin. I already have an account. I'll
Very
logged on.
Yeah. I'm also done. Yeah.
Okay. So very first thing, it is asking you to create a repository. A repository is nothing. It's just like a folder where you can store your code. So let's create a repository. Give it a name, Infi project. Very good. In a description, just type develop an app for Infosys. Congratulations, you get a very first big project, right? Now it gives you an option that do you want to make this repository public? Public means anyone can search you. Do you want to make this repository private? Then only you have to allow access. Who can see that? I say that it's a public as of now. Then you have to add a readme file where you can make the description long, how the people will going to use the code or document which you are going to store in this repository, and just say create repository. Congratulations. You are in a GitHub owned repository, which is a Infi project. Let's open a notepad. Let's write a small code. I think I am not able to see the notepad. You have to share the whole screen, then only I can see the notepad. Biru, you have to share your screen first. Yes. So we are going to write a very small batch command. So just type here echo ECHO. It's a Windows command. A space in a double quote. Just type, this is my first code. Close the code. So we are creating a very small batch file. Now save it on a desktop. Give it a name, first.bat. Give it a name. First.bat. And below select all file. Below select all file. All file. Below it is showing text document. Yeah. Select all file. Yes. Click save. Good. Great. This is your first code. Now let's upload it on a GitHub. Go back to your GitHub now. I think I'm only seeing the notepad. Yes. Add file. Create new. Yeah. Upload file. Good. Scroll down. And click choose your file. Good. Now just check in. To check in, you have to type the message. For example, where it is written add file via upload, say that the first commit by Viru. If you want, you can even have a description. Everything is done, then they say commit changes. All perfect here. Everyone is done. Right. So this Infosys project, there are 8 developers working on this project. You are a project manager, Viru. You are going to now invite all the team members to collaborate. How you are going to invite? Go to the setting. Not here. You have a lot of things, and the last option is setting. You have a code, issue, pull request, action, project, wiki, security, and the last one is setting.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay. Scroll down. Now you get a menu called Manage Access. On the top second.
Invite a collaborator.
Scroll down. Now let's invite the people. So first you invite me. Click that one. So anyone who is on GitHub, their name will appear. So type my name, BIPEN SINHA. No GitHub name is have a space here. SINHA. Yeah, it's coming. Click that one. Click add Bipin to this repository. Good. Repeat the process. Ask everyone name.
R Adapa 1.
Yes, sir.
1. Yeah.
Devaneni 25. Yeah.
Everyone will have to check their
DEVI.
email.
Devi. Devi. Yeah. DEVI. 25.
Yes, we got the view invitation.
Fine. Yeah.
You have to check your email. You must receive an email from Ram. You have to accept the invitation.
Srini V get git. SRE NIV git. Yeah.
Anybody else?
Where are you adding this, Vera?
Yeah, KHU ZE MA MH MH. Yeah, this one.
Ram Manohar. Sridhar, you have the settings in the under your project. So you
Okay.
click that and then you can you'll get an invite collaborator option there.
Okay.
This one, Ram Manohar?
Yes.
Viru, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, Venu Sidhoji. I think I was talking on
Venu,
you.
yes, yeah.
Venu Sidhoji, yeah. Sidhoji, SIDDOJI. Yeah.
Priyesh bhai.
Vijesh 25.
Bipin, all are added now.
Looks like Pippin also added something into this.
We get it there.
So, Sridhar, you're asking something.
No. What I'm saying, Bipin also updated some file into this folder, Vera.
Okay. Yeah. HTML file.
Yes, I as a developer, I also contributed something in your repository.
Yep.
Good.
I can see the.
Yeah, go back to setting and check how many of people have accepted your invitation.
No, don't accept.
Bipin done. The Sridhar done. Grijesh pending, Kujama pending,
Yeah, I'm just doing it.
Ram done, Ram Manohar,
Is
Srini,
accept.
Venu.
Where is that? You got to accept. I don't have only email.
Email you have button, Srini.
The email.
Yeah.
I accepted it, Viru.
Get an
Don't know why
email.
it's saying
You
pending.
accepted?
That-
Okay, let me.
Yeah.
In that email, you have to say accept the invitation.
Ram has also sent an invite, so I accepted both.
Sorry, Vainu.
Okay, refresh it.
I'm happy to see your email from you, Ram.
Refresh it.
I have updated one file. You would see that.
Yeah. You updated on file?
Yeah.
Just a moment.
Yeah, most
Oh.
people, I think, they have accepted.
Srini and Venu. Still see.
Yeah, can you refresh, Viru? I accepted it.
But I
some
don't
time
see any
ago.
accept button in an email.
There is accept button. It's
Srini.
coming in a very
Srini.
small.
There is no accept button.
View invitation. There is something called view invitation.
Yeah. Venu, you are done.
Thanks.
Okay,
Srini.
all perfect now. So every one of you, if you can upload a small line, just create one notepad.
Yeah, Ram, yours is added.
Yes.
Ramesh, okay.
Echo these first code. Okay.
Yeah, Srini, is it done for you?
No, I don't see anything.
Yeah, actually, see, you need to log in on the same device first to the GitHub.
Yes.
And then do the view invitation.
Go to your email. In the email, you
Go to
have
email, there is a view invitation.
Srini, in the email, there is a blue accept message in the first line, I guess. You can either accept or reject.
For me, I don't get accept.
No, I did not
I
get
got
that.
the-
That's the problem.
Apple is restricting.
Yeah. That's what I don't see anything in the. So if I click on only, I can see a few links to help and ready to work on the project. Import an existing repository. Explore open source projects. Maybe I have to click on that. Or,
Complete the
Share your
GDPR form and then you'll see.
Okay, no worry.
Didn't
Okay.
pay the fee.
Okay,
So
carry on.
rest of the member, if you can upload one file with your name, maybe, right? So every member developing the piece of their code, right? And they are uploading on GitHub.
Venu also updated one file.
Looking at the wrong email. Yeah, I got it now.
Yeah, just a minute. I'm also doing it.
Yeah, I've accepted Viru now. Thank you.
Yeah. It's done for you,
Yeah,
Srini.
yeah. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong email or something. Okay.
So I hope every one of you understand how the team forms, right? How the
Yep.
team collaborate on a GitHub. Correct?
Yep.
Now there is some issues has come in some of the project, some of the code. So now let's say Ram or maybe Viru is raising issues to discuss among the team. So you have an issues now on the top. Just click that one.
The code.
So let's create a one issues.
New issue.
Give it a name. Bug in code at line number 13. Good. And just give a comment. There is a bug I found in the code at line 10. Please correct it.
Fix it.
Fix it. Very good. Now let's assign this task. You on your right hand side, you have something called assignee. Let's assign this task to why is saying busy for me?
Yeah, reason.
Okay. Let's assign this task to me and Radhapa. Yeah. And give also Grijes. Grijes. Very good. Leave it as it is.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah. Click that. 3 people you have assigned, right? In your team.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
guys, you have to work on hard and report to me within 1 hour, right?
No, but where it is issued, Bipin?
Huh? In a code.
Already been issued. No, I haven't.
Submit the issue.
Submit new issue button.
Submit, right?
Now hold on. Just click outside. Just yes. Now just put a label. What type of issues it is? It is bug. It is duplicate. So I say it is a bug. Everyone will understand that whatever the issues we are talking about is a bug, right? And then everything is done. And just click submit new issue.
Yep.
Correct. So now everyone please go back to your GitHub. You will now found the issues raised by here. Now let's start a conversation. I start a conversation. I think it is issues of syntax. Curly bracket seems to be missing.
Ram.
Just wrote my first code and you're saying issue, huh?
Yes, guys, I have updated my comment.
I think this issue is of syntax.
So it means that I can also attach the attachment, right?
Screenshot. Okay.
Correct?
Yeah.
Right? So this is how the
Sridhar. Are you providing any evidence, Sridhar, for this?
Bug rejected.
Straight away rejected.
Because he's a developer, so I don't accept the bugs. Isn't it?
I think Ram Manohar is the developer.
Oh, chain of emails going on as well. So every time a member writes something, we get an email as well.
Yeah, right. I am getting email notifications as well.
Yes. Because every time you are not sitting here, na? Right?
Yeah. Bipin,
Hmm.
anyone in the project can comment, because if you see, we
Yeah,
have
anyone. It's open for all, no? It's a collaborative platform, right? It's not a private platform. So any member who is part of the project, they can contribute. That's why it's collaborative, right?
Okay, what about the assignees then? They can only fix it, or they can only submit?
No. It's only that you maybe you can ask the user or someone to be responsible, right? But since it is a group work, it is a team work, so anyone can contribute, right? Now.
Okay.
Good. So once that you understand now, so what are the power of GitHub? The first power is that you can build your team. Second power is that you can easily collaborate, discuss the issues, discuss the milestone with the team without any kind of a emailing or unnecessary wanted, right? Correct, now? And when you found that everything is okay, you can close these issues. Just scroll down. Thank you. Say thank you very much, everyone. Issue is closed, and click close the issues. This is how in a real-time world people work.
Closing, okay?
Yeah.
So anyone can close this issue, Bipin, or
Yes,
is only
yes.
Oh, okay.
Good. So now you see that this is how the GitHub is making more and more, you can say, enhancement there. Now let's say, for an example, Biru is a project manager. He said that, guys, I'm not very much comfortable with the coding language, what you are talking, right? I want to manage my task as a project manager. Can GitHub help me? Yes, GitHub help you. Go up. Now you have something called project. Click create a project. Give it a name, Infosys project. Type some description. Project is to develop an app for Infosys. Just scroll down. You have a project template. Let's select a project template. Select the basic Kanban. Kanban is a board which give you flexibility to manage your complete project line item. Now click create a project. All right, guys, you've done that. Scroll down. If you're not able to see, then you have to make your zoom smaller of a browser.
Yeah, this is what it's appearing, Bipin.
Too small, right? Nothing is visible.
Hold on. I think you have to make a browser view small. Oh my God.
Even I can't see.
It's all because of the desktop setting. Okay. Here I have a, just see there as a project manager, since I have selected the basic Kanban. Basic Kanban will give you a 3-line item: to do, in progress, and a done. To do, in progress, and a done. Same dashboard is also available in Jira. The people who is managing Jira, they have the same Kanban board. GitHub also give you same Kanban board. So let's create a milestone. Here, let's say type that create a, let's say I say that develop front end UI. This is your task 1. Okay. Now say okay. Now say create a backend with PHP. Let's start develop the login form. Integrate payment gateway. I'm just outlining the major task. Okay. It can be further also, right? Now let me make it a little bit bigger. When I make it bigger, it's gone, right? Can you change your desktop setting for a time being?
Okay, just a moment.
Or maybe we click this one. Can you able to cross this, whatever is coming? Basic project created for basic Kanban template. See if you're able to cross it. Can you cross it, Viru?
Yeah, which one?
You see there is a 2 cross button is coming on top. One is a project created for basic Kanban template.
Okay, just a moment.
Just try cross it.
Viru, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, Griyesh.
Yeah, I think it was not working. Just sorted out something. Thanks.
See, if you cross it, then you will get a full screen.
Where to cross?
Not able to, no, it's not crossed. Close this now on top, 2 top bar on top.
Okay, okay, just a moment. Yeah.
And on top there is one more.
Yes. Now let increase the font size so that another can view. So make it 100, 50, 90. Now, Viru, you have created a task already, right?
Yep.
Correct. So now here you just, let's say for example, your task develop front end UI is started. So what do you do? Just drag and drop in progress. Good. Now your backend with PHP also started. So drag and drop also. anyone can view this whole stage live, real time in their dashboard. If everyone open the project dashboard, everyone, all the member, please open the project dashboard of WinFi project, and you see everything is happening real time, right?
Yeah.
Now we move the develop front end UI to done.
Yes, you can see it sometimes.
Like as if seamless.
Correct now, right? So it means that it not only a repository. So when you talk to most of the people, they only see GitHub as a kind of a Google Drive where they can store their code. That is just one part. It is more than that, right? You can collaborate with the team, you can form the team, you can discuss the issues, you can as a project manager, you can manage the whole project transparently. Correct, huh? Right?
Yeah.
Yes, agree.
Yeah.
Correct, huh? So it means that this is something which everyone can leverage the GitHub. It's not only something which just like a mere repository. Correct? Yeah. So it means that we can work in a collaboration, right? Now see that we have worked so far, so things. Let's see that what's your project has gained a traffic. Go to the insight now. Wow. Scroll down. Look at that, how many contributors you have. Click the traffic. Scroll down. After some time, whole dashboard will be populated. Good. How many commits happen? Correct. So far, 9 commits has happened. Correct now?
Yeah.
So it means that GitHub is a platform which give you to work in collaboration within your team, outside your team. It's a community also. So GitHub is not GitHub. When the GitHub was started as a platform, it was started as a Facebook. It means that millions and billions of people can connect with each other. I am on GitHub for the last 6 years now. Like me, there are billions of people are on GitHub. They use the GitHub to connect each other, search each other coding, or maybe a document, or maybe any kind of you can send more like issues. We do not search Google now. We mostly search in now GitHub. Go back now. Let's leverage the search power of GitHub. Wow. Now you have.
But
what is the question?
Ram, Wipro project.
Okay, go back to search.
Search.
On the top, you have a cat icon, and then there is a search.
Search or jump, yeah.
Just type, just search. Let's say you want to search about a user. Search my name, BIPWN SINHA. Click all GitHub. You are searching globally now, just like a Facebook. Now you see there is one user available, right? Below.
Left to the menu. Yeah, that's it.
You can follow me just like a Facebook. Wow. Click that one. Click that user. Now you are able to see all my public repository, not the private one. So let's say, for example, go to the repository and see all the repository, whatever is available to us publicly. Right? So I have so many applications, so many repository created. Let's click App Service Web, get started. Go up. The fourth one.
Bit down.
Fantastic. This is my app. You like it, you can download it. Okay. So you have a code, and then when you click the code, you have an option to download. Click the code. You have a code that is in a green, button. Code that is in a green button. Now you have an option to download zip, right?
Yeah, open with the desktop.
And below is a download zip. So it means that I have uploaded this code for the community. If they want to work on a .NET application, I have developed this program already. Someone wants to work again, they do not have to reinvent the wheel. They can search in a GitHub and they can probably work on my code. You like it? What happens if I change this code again? If I make an update in the code, then when you download, you won't get the update. So another option is that you can fork it. Go and click fork. On the top, you have a fork. On the very top, extreme top on the right. Hello?
Okay.
Click fork.
Yeah, done. Done, Bipin.
Very good. So I am seeing 335 people have forked this repository. I actually track how many people have forked it. 335. How many people I have teach Azure DevOps? 335. Got that now?
Yeah.
So this is also my own way to track, right? How many people learn AWS? Then anyone who is forking the code for an AWS, and come to know that they have forked that.
So Bipin, it is not physically copying the code. It is actually just linking it, right?
Yes, exactly. Correct?
Yeah.
So these all are the features when you are working on GitHub.
So Bipin, one more thing, sorry. After forking this code, can we make a changes here?
Yeah, you can make changes. It's all yours, It's not
But
going
it
to
will
replicate back to me.
Sorry?
It's not going to replicate back to me.
Yeah, okay then. Okay.
So this is like a similar to
Whenever
what
I
you have
make
created.
changes, it will replicate back to you.
Okay.
Correct?
Yeah.
So this is how it's a better than the Facebook community. Yeah, how to deploy an app on Azure? I don't know. Search here. Just type deploy an app on Azure. Let's see. It's better than Google search. Say all GitHub. You get 55 repositories, 754,000 code, 2,000 wikis. 51 people are discussing this one. Correct now, right? So
Yeah.
nowadays, every developer, instead of starting developing an app, they first search here. If someone can develop already, they can just copy paste and make some modification, and they are done. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
But
their code is available publicly, then only we can copy, right? If
yes,
it's private, then you can't, right?
yeah, private you can't see. Just like a Facebook now. If you mark any post private, no one can see your post, right? It is same like, because it is also a collaborative platform. But company, in a real-time company, this GitHub will be handled only by the team leader and the project manager. A general developer and a tester, they are not supposed to have access of this GitHub. But they, how then they upload the code if they do not have an access, right?
Yeah.
So for that, there are tools available for where the developer can work and commit the code. So let's, the last topic we are moving to, and then we are winding up. Go back to everyone on Google and type there Git desktop. Go to Google and type download Git desktop.
Download Git.
Desktop.
The desktop.
Yeah, download that one.
Vipin, I downloaded it later. This is my office desktop.
Oh, okay, no, no. Someone else can download it.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
You can share your screen, no worry. You can stop the sharing. You do. We only download, login, and we finish now. Okay. Congratulations, you've done that. Just click sign in to the GitHub.
Okay, so this is the one what we created today, right?
Yeah. So it will connect to your account. Yes, authorized.
So
Yeah, click open. Congratulations. You continue. Finish. All good now?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So we are
This is one.
we are just staying here. And let's have a small video about the GitHub, and then we are winding up. Stop the sharing.
Okay.
Bipin, are you okay to share the presentation that you are showing in the
For
start?
yours. Yeah, yes.
Thank you.
You guys are getting sound?
No.
No, Bipin.
No sound, yeah.
What is GitHub? Well, GitHub is a platform that helps people solve problems by building software together. So, how does it work? This is Sam. Sam works on tractors all day, but not in the way you might be thinking. She builds the software that helps make tractors more efficient. And she does this on GitHub with the help of her team, Vijay, Melinda, and Mike. Now, even though they all work on the same project, Sam and her team don't all work in the same.
So what they are trying to say that lady actually is not a tractor driver, but she make a software through which the tractor functions much better. Okay. So how they do that? How she do that? She is now putting all their codes in GitHub. But the problem she has is that their all other developer are not in the same room, not in the same building, not in the same country. They all are geographically in a different part. So this lady has a problem that how this all 4 people can combine and connect together, collaborate together, and work on a single same application.
Same part of the world. This is Eddie. Eddie also works on tractors all day, except he actually works on the tractors all day. And this is the Harvester L700. It's the latest flagship in the company's fleet of tractors. It's full of sensors and processors that produce a ton of diagnostic data. Eddie has a great idea for how farmers might share their data and improve their harvests. So Eddie opens an issue on GitHub. Issues are discussion threads where people can report bugs, request features, or even just ask questions. Sam is the first one on her team to see Eddie's issue, and she thinks that
We already used the issues feature, right? Correct, huh?
Yeah.
So same way that guy has opened an issues in a GitHub so that all other team member can now contribute.
Vijay would be the best person to start the job. And here's where we get into the nuts and bolts. Eddie isn't the only person using the Harvester L700. All over the world, other tractors are collecting moisture data, and they need to keep running smoothly even while Vijay is working on the new features. He needs a dedicated place to experiment so none of his changes end up on the farm before they're ready. So he creates a branch of the code, an alternate timeline where he can safely make changes to the software. Now he's ready to start writing the new features. GitHub tracks Vijay's changes and saves snapshots of his progress. When he's ready to collaborate on the changes with his team, he opens a pull request on GitHub. Pull requests let you show others the changes you're proposing so they can review and discuss them. This means Vijay's teammates can help with roadblocks and even make improvements. On GitHub, everyone has a copy of the project. So if Melinda has an idea for something that will help make Vijay's work even better, she can add it to the branch herself. GitHub keeps a record of everyone's contributions and feedback in the pull request, alongside relevant messages from the team's other systems. Once the team has signed off on the changes, Vijay can incorporate the new code into the project. The new feature will be available to everyone as soon as he merges it in. Now farmers everywhere can all benefit from Eddie's great idea. But this is really only the beginning of the story. Because GitHub is the largest community of developers in the world, with millions of people sharing their projects, Eddie's idea could end up helping people in unimaginable ways. What kinds of problems are you trying to solve? Whether you're an engineer, a code enthusiast, or even a farmer trying to harvest grain, software touches every corner of our lives. GitHub is where people build that software. It's how they build software. Together.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a happy weekend. Enjoy your day. Let's see you again on
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Vipin, can you share the links to these videos as well? Maybe we will.
Let me
just
try.
for a reference.
Let me try.
Yeah, just links, man.
Sure.
Okay. So